Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be checking out the Pixel Buds Pro 2. Now, these are Google's premier flagship earbuds, and they're some of the smallest and lightest earbuds on the market right now. But how do they compare against some of the other top brands in terms of sound quality, microphone quality, and overall feature set? That's exactly what we're going to figure out in this video. Now, I'm an audio engineer by trade, and I've amassed quite a collection of high-end earbuds over the years, and I'm excited to be able to share my findings for you to help you make the best decision possible when it comes to buying new tech. Now, these Pixel Buds Pro 2 were released in September of 2024, and I got my set about 6 months ago, and they've held up really well over that time. I bought these with my own money, so this review is in no way sponsored by Google, but this video does have a sponsor, and that's Flexispot, so more about them in a minute. But first, let's talk specs. And to be honest, the Buds Pro 2 aren't going to blow you away here on paper, as they only support the AAC and SPC codecs, and they don't offer any other higher bitrate options, even when paired with a Pixel phone. They're IP54 rated, which is pretty standard and gives you some limited dust and water resistance. But one spec that is impressive is the battery life, which is just about best in class. With active noise cancellation turned on, Google suggests you'll still get about 8 hours of battery life with the buds themselves and 30 hours overall with the included charging case. While I haven't done a full battery drain test on these, I will say I've had no issues with the battery life, so these numbers feel very accurate. This is especially impressive when you consider the size of these earbuds and their accompanying case, which, by the way, supports wireless charging. These are the lightest weight earbuds I've tested at only 4.7 grams per bud. And this certainly contributes to the earbuds' comfort, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. The Buds Pro 2 come in 4 different color options. I've got the hazel option here, but if you like a pop of color, they also offer peony and wintergreen, as well as porcelain. Although you should know that's only the outer round cap of these that protrude from your ears that have any color. Otherwise, all the buds have the same black design with the same white case. And then rounding out this section, let's chat price. When they're not on sale, these are listed for $229 here in the US, which isn't cheap, but it's a bit less than most of the other earbuds I've been comparing them with, most of which range from the $250 to $300 range. But they're quite a bit more than my favorite value options right now, which are the Nothing Ears, which come in at just $150. Now, since we already started talking about colors, let's next transition to talk about design and comfort. As I said, these earbuds are quite small, which is great if you're like me and prefer a minimal aesthetic instead of earbuds that intentionally try to draw attention to themselves, like some options from Bose and Samsung. They've got these non-removable wings that help them stay in place in your ears when you put them in and give them a little twist. And they come with 4 different size pairs of silicone tips in the box, which should provide options for most people to get a pretty good seal in their ears. The medium size worked best for me, and overall I found the fit of these earbuds to be quite good, and again, extremely comfortable. Legitimately, these are the most comfortable earbuds I've got, and wearing them for a long period of time has not been an issue at all. They also stay sealed in the ear pretty well, even if you're talking or chewing gum, so you're not fighting that urge to constantly readjust and push them in more, which definitely adds to the comfort. One thing that I don't love is this giant G logo on the side. As I mentioned before, I'm all about the minimal aesthetic, so as well as these do to be small and non-obtrusive, these big G's are a bit of a countermeasure to that. That said, I really do love the case for these, which is this nice oval shape with this nice smooth matte finish that it just makes them extremely easy to get in and out of your pocket. This is one of my favorite earbuds cases for that reason, but I would have loved if they had the matching earbud color to the case so they're not just this kind of boring white. Another feature of the charging case is that it has a built-in speaker, and that's not found in many, if any of the other earbuds I've tested other than the Apple AirPods Pro 2. But it's a really helpful feature if you're someone who tends to lose your earbuds often. When using Google's Find Hub app, you'll be able to quickly locate them and even make them chirp for you with that included speaker. They also give a little feedback sound when you insert each earbud back in the case, which is a reassuring way to know you've got them aligned correctly so that they'll definitely be charged the next time you get them out. And there's other sounds like when the case is running low on battery or when you plug them in to start charging. This is a feature I didn't know I needed until I realized I missed it when I switched earbuds after using these exclusively for a little while. So it's a nice quality of life improvement. And speaking of quality of life improvements, have you heard that sitting is the new smoking? It's true. And that's where today's video sponsor can help, Flexispot. They sent me over this incredibly spacious sit-stand desk on their E6 Max legs, which featured dual motors and couldn't lift over 300 pounds. This particular desk has their bamboo top, which is remarkably thin but strong, even at this 72-inch width. There's no sign of any bowing here. The desk took me only about 30 minutes to assemble all on my own, but I did get some help to flip it over once I was done. This model includes a wired remote with 4 custom presets, so you can set different heights for sitting and standing, even if multiple people share the same desk. And there's plenty of range here too, with the height going from 24 inches all the way up to 50 inches. I'm a pretty tall fella here at 6'4", and this goes up far beyond my needs and stays pretty stable in the process. Check the link in the description if you're interested in learning more, and thank you again to Flexispot for sponsoring this video. Now, before we get into the all-important sound quality, let's first talk about the app experience with the Pixel Buds Pro 2. The app feels very integrated into the Android experience, and it feels almost like a totally native app when used with Pixel phones. I'm not going to run through every page of the app here, but I will note that you do get some nice customizability of the touch controls here, including the ability to swipe up and down on the earbuds to adjust volume, which I found to be very intuitive. I did want to call it this More Settings page, as that's where you can turn on the multi-point connectivity, which for some reason is off by default. Make sure you turn this on if you want to be able to seamlessly switch between two devices, like your phone and your laptop. Once enabled, the multi-point works really well here. Under the sound setting, you'll find the option to turn on conversation detection, which will automatically turn transparency mode off if you start talking. I usually leave this off because sometimes I get false detections. Maybe it's because I sing when I listen to music or something. But anyway, it is there if you need it. Now just below that is the equalizer section, which again is pretty simple. There's a few presets here, and then you can customize even further with a 5-band EQ. In comparison to the competition, this is a pretty rudimentary EQ, and even doing wide sweeps of each band doesn't make a hugely dramatic difference, at least not as much as I might expect. Which is the perfect segue to talk about sound quality, and I'm actually not going to spend that much time talking about it. The long story short here is that if sound quality for music playback is your #1 priority, I'd recommend you look elsewhere. I prefer the sound out of most other options I've tested, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not super exciting. To be clear, it's actually incredibly impressive the amount of punch that these earbuds do pack given their size and weight. But again, they're just a little vanilla. Without the higher fidelity codecs, they definitely suffer a bit by having a lower standard bit rate, which I'm able to hear. And when you push the EQ for more low end or high end, things get a little crunchy pretty quickly, which is not pleasing. They do offer a good amount of bass, but they won't wow you if you're a bass head looking for that extra extension into the deep end. I'm not trying to undersell these, as again, the sound quality is honestly fine, and for most people, I think they'd be happy with these earbuds. Particularly if you listen to a lot of podcasts or music that doesn't need a ton of low-end response. If you are looking for better sounding earbuds, I'd point you to either the Nothing Ears, or my personal favorites are still the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultras. In terms of active noise cancellation, the results here are, again, solid, but not spectacular. In my very unscientific test of trying all these earbuds in different noisy environments, I would say the Pixel Buds Pro 2 are safely in the middle of the pack. They struggle quite a bit with low-end rumble of an airplane engine, but most earbuds do. Overall, it's nice that ANC is here, and the Tensor chip inside does a good job of quickly catching sounds without a lot of artifacts. They fall pretty far behind what I believe is the class leader here, the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultras, but they are pretty evenly matched with most other options. The transparency mode, however, is quite good, and this is my most used mode because I like to wear earbuds while walking the dog or working around the house where I need to keep in contact with my surroundings. The transparency mode here is pretty natural, including the sound of your own voice, which is an area that cheaper earbuds tend to struggle with. I'd rank these right up there with the AirPods Pro 2 and Samsung Buds 3 Pro as one of the better performing earbuds in terms of transparency, although I would rank these third out of those three. Next, let's do a microphone test so you can get an idea of how you might sound on the other end if you're planning to use these for phone or video calls. I'll include some samples of a few other earbud options just for a comparison as well. All right, so we are out here to do a microphone test now, and I am just using the built-in microphone on the Pixel 9 Pro here. All right, now I switched over to the Pixel Buds Pro 2, again here on a busy street, so you can hear what the noise cancellation is doing, what it's doing to the quality of my voice. And then next we're gonna check out the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. And now we switched over to the Samsung Buds 3 Pro, still here on the Pixel 9 Pro, the Google Pixel phone. So a little bit of mismatch, but again, out here, busy street. All right, so now we have the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultras, and we're listening to those here. These, I think, are the most expensive of the options that we are listening to today. All right, now we have the Apple AirPods Pro 2. So this is the Apple AirPods Pro 2, but still connected to a Samsung phone here, the S23. Just to keep things as even as we can. All right, let me know in the comments down below which earbuds microphone you prefer. To me, the Pixel Buds are serviceable and they work okay if you have to take a call, but they really do struggle in a loud environment like the street outside. You heard a lot of artifacting there as the earbuds were trying to discern what sounds were my voice and what was just noise. I will say they do sound better than the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultras, which are just kind of a joke when it comes to mic quality. But the Pixel Buds fall far short of my favorite in this category, which is the Samsung Buds 3 Pro. Overall, I think the Pixel Buds Pro 2 offer a really compelling option in the market. They're the smallest, lightest, and most comfortable earbuds I've tested, But outside of that, they're pretty middle of the pack for everything else we talked through here. There's better options out there if you're looking for the most supported audio codecs, or you want the best overall sound quality, or the best microphone quality. But the Buds Pro 2 are also not terrible at anything, so they offer a pretty nice, well-rounded solution that are also super comfortable with outstanding battery life. If that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, then I definitely recommend you check these out. Please check out the links in the description below if you want to learn more, as those links do help support the channel. I've also linked out to all the other earbuds we've talked about here today if you're interested in those. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if it was, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and consider subscribing. I've got a personal goal to try to get to 10,000 subscribers, so please consider joining me on this YouTube journey if you're interested in more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.